Hello, it's Alex here, back again for another vlog. Hope you're all well. So in this video, we're going to be talking about quite a dull, boring subject, and that is tax. The reason why I'm talking about it is I get asked about it quite a lot, especially on my other channel, WP Eagle, which you should go check out if you haven't done so already. It's all about kind of making money online, making websites, affiliate marketing, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, a lot of people say, you know, what do I do about tax? But before I go any further, I just want to make it very clear that I am not an accountant. I'm not a professional tax specialist or anything like that. I'm just going to be sharing with you my experience of how the tax and everything works. You should go and get some advice from a professional if you are going to be doing any of your own business stuff. Find a good accountant. And on that note, in terms of choosing an accountant, because I've been through a few different accountants, I would recommend that you go for a small practice, maybe just one or two guys. That way you'll get much better service, there'll be much better value for money. Don't go for one of those large accountancy firms, where they've got a big office in the city centre somewhere and huge teams of people, because they'll charge you a lot of money and you won't actually probably get the sort of advice that you need. I think it's very useful to be able to sit down with an accountant and talk one-to-one about stuff. It really helps out. So I just want to go through a few tax things in terms of when you're making money online. Maybe you're an affiliate marketeer, maybe you're a YouTuber, maybe, I don't know, you're doing Bitcoin stuff and you're making money that way. So it's kind of applies, the same thing applies to all of those things. And this is how I do it. Now I'm based in the UK, so keep that in mind. But I'm sure the kind of principle is the same anywhere around the world. So the first thing is any money that you earn, you have to pay tax on. That's generally the rule of thumb. It's inevitable. They say there's two inevitabilities in life, death and taxes, and that's for sure. Any money you earn, whether that be through affiliate commission, AdSense revenue, from a sale of some Bitcoin, that money is all due for tax. So how do you go about paying that tax and making sure that it's all correct and all that kind of stuff? First thing I'd say is make sure you've got an accountant to help you. The second thing is you need to keep a record of all that money that you've been earning. Now that's normally fairly straightforward if you've, earning your money online, because you can just run reports off your affiliate commissions, your AdSense earnings, that kind of stuff. So keep a record of everything you're earning. And the next thing you want to do is keep a record of everything you're spending. And this is quite broad, really, and this is, again, where an accountant will help you. So, for example, you're an affiliate marketeer, marketeer. We've been through that before. So, yeah, no, if you buy a new laptop to make your sites on, then that's an expense that can go through. You buy some website hosting, a domain name, some plugins, a theme. You pay someone to create some content. All that stuff is an expense, a business expense that can be offset against your income. And that's really the trick, because tax is calculated on not just your revenue, but you also have to take into account your expenses. So you get your revenue and then you take off your expenses, and what's left is your profit, and that's what you get taxed on. So that's why it's really important to make sure that you keep a track of all your expenses, because that's going to directly affect how much tax you pay. The more expenses you track, the less tax you're going to pay. Simple as that. So whether you maybe you go and work in a coffee shop for an hour and you buy coffee, can you put that through? Again, I'm not an accountant, but yeah, probably. I'd say you can. It's a business expense. What I like to do to keep it simple is to have a separate bank account, and I recommend you do the same. So have a different bank account for your business stuff. So that's the account that you use to buy stuff for your business, and that's the account that all your revenue goes into. You may or may not need to set up a company. Now, if you set up a company, which is what I've got, a limited company in the UK, that's kind of handy, because again, it keeps everything separate. So I just know that everything that goes through the company is business stuff, and then we just work out tax on that. But it's more complicated, because then you've got to get money out of the company into your personal account, and there's various other bits of paperwork that you need to do with the company. So sometimes the overhead is not worth it, but you definitely want a separate bank account. And in most countries, you'll need to register as a self-employed or as a sole trader, and that way then you'll get a tax return to complete. So when it comes to tax returns, it's very simple. You just basically put down all the money you've earned, you put down all your expenses, and then they do a calculation and they tell you how much tax you've got to pay. I get my accountant to do all that stuff. I find that the fee that he charges is way worth it, or well worth it, probably is the best way of saying it. And yeah, he just does all my tax returns, and he also helps me reminds me of all the expenses I need to put through. So your broadband, you can put a cost of that through. Your mobile phone, you can put a bit of that through if you're using it for business. Even if you're working from home, a bit of the energy, a bit of the whatever, power, gas, heating, whatever, a little bit of that can go through as well. So that's where an accountant comes in. I've been rambling on this rather dull subject, but I think it needed to be addressed. I'm going to try and do a more exciting video next week if I think of something more exciting than tax. I'm sure I can do that. But yeah, it's one of those things that you've got to do it, you've got to pay it, and I just want to talk about it. So it's that simple. Yeah, you've got to pay tax on your affiliate earnings. When it comes to Bitcoin, I did mention Bitcoin before, and I've been talking to a few accountants about Bitcoin, and it can get quite complicated again, depending on the country you're in. But generally, as a rule of thumb, it works like this. You put some money into Bitcoin, so you say you buy Bitcoin at £1,000 a coin, and then at the end of the year you sell that Bitcoin for £10,000 a coin. Your gain there is £9,000, and on that you pay capital gains tax, which is slightly different to income tax. And yeah, that's what I think about Bitcoin. Although in some countries they're saying that you need to pay tax on every single trade and transaction you do. It can get complicated. I think it depends on whether you're trading or whether you're holding and that kind of stuff. But there you go. Anyway, this video has been for entertainment only, and there's no financial advice within this video or anything like that. And if you know what, I'm just going to say that to cover myself legally. But I think I've been clear. I'm not an accountant. I don't look like an accountant, do I? So I'm just sharing my experience. Anyway, what a video. I'm going to sign off now. So yeah, good to have you on, and good to, thanks for watching and all that stuff. If you're not already subscribed, then please click on my face, and you'll be updated then and notified whenever I upload more rubbish like this. There is some more rubbish that I've produced a little while ago. Check it out, chosen especially for you. There's another channel, and that's got better videos on it, personally. Until next time, bye for now.